Hello, and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities Podcast. I'm your host, Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and with me today is the third-eyed mystic herself, the ever-so-lovely Neema.
Hey, everyone.
Neema, Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. We're 2 months in.
Yep, and from what you were telling me, things have been pretty fun and good and busy. So I am a lazy bum like normal, so we're good with that. Nothing has changed there. And today we have a fun show, or at least a funny show. At first I was thinking about doing something spiritual and deep. And then Ian was like, Mel, I can't exactly make it. I have some stuff I need to do. And then I was like, well, forget you. But since it is February and it's quote unquote the month of love, I decided let's do something fun and lighthearted and somewhat bizarre. And sure enough, Neema, she was like, yeah, I'm totally down for that, man. Let me cut everything out. We're doing
it. Of course.
And this came about because in January's In Case You Missed It, I spoke about two stories in particular. One is a woman who, well, she's in love with the plane. And she wants to marry said plane, and she sleeps with a model of this plane, and she's not a bad looking woman either, so it's like, oh, you just have mental issues. And the other story was a Japanese man who was in a relationship for a year with a roach, and he then ate said roach once it passed away. So yeah.
Do you think you'll ever love another roach?
I don't think he can ever love another roach again. It just wouldn't be the same.
Okay.
But, so what I'm getting at is love is blind, love is mysterious, and it comes to us in very many different and sometimes bizarre ways. Neema, do you have any bizarre love story?
No, not that bizarre.
I do, and I've told people this several times before, and I'm not going to repeat myself. Well, I don't mind repeating myself, but it's just not going to be this show, so sorry guys. Womp womp.
What?
But, yeah, well, let's just say Secret Service
set us up.
No. Secret Service got involved, and a mental institution got involved, and yeah. So that day I learned sometimes it's not always good trying to hit on the redhead with the big butt. Doesn't always end well.
This sounds so interesting.
I might tell you the story one. Oh, that's right. I never told you. You actually don't know about this.
No, I don't.
Wow. That is so funny.
Okay. So, sorry. But I was just looking this up. So I looked up that Michelle girl. What's her name? The girl in love with the
the German chick, yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's called objectophilia?
Yeah, something like that.
Objectophilia.
Yes.
There's tons of people who are in love with fucking objects. This is crazy.
Some of them don't even vibrate.
There's a girl making out with a toilet. Yeah, there's a girl making out with a toilet. Like,
no, don't worry. We have some stories that that involve that, and oh boy, I'm looking at the first one right now, and it's something. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't even understand how this is possible. Well, I kind of do, but okay. So you ready to jump into it?
Yep.
All right, let's jump into it. So the first bizarre thing. Oh, and by the way, I was actually going to make this 10 most bizarre things, but it's so many of them, and they're just so out there. I decided we were like, we got to do a full show on this. So, okay. So the first one, which I don't know, it's weird, but the first one is involving a woman named Emma and a hi-fi or hi-fi system. So for those of you who don't know, that's basically a very expensive stereo system.
Oh, God.
Emma married said stereo system.
Wow.
Oh, no, it gets even better. Not only did she marry it, she consummated the marriage. The hi-fi, however it is, the stereo system is named Jake, and Emma braggingly says that she makes love to Jake twice a day and repairs him with all her love.
Wow. Just wow. How does this go down?
I kind of have an idea.
Oh, you do?
I actually do. I kind of have an idea on how this happens. So I'm thinking Jake is able to hit all the vibrations just right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that does make sense, I guess.
And turn up the bass, and you got some loud booms.
Wow. That's so cool. That's interesting.
I mean, it's the most bizarre thing. It's like, wait, your husband is a stereo and his name is Jake? Wait, Jake the stereo, and you make love to him twice a day? Like, she's bragging about this. Now, to be fair, in her defense, she has Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism. So that might be playing a role in her attraction to Jake the stereo.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about that disability to say it has part in it, but I mean, whatever floats your boat, right?
Yeah, but what I want to know is, what does she mean by she repairs him with her love?
Yeah.
There was that awkward moment of silence, like,
Let me think about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so weird. But yeah, there you go. Emma and Jake, two lovebirds. Yeah, congrats. You know, that's how it's done, I guess. It's just so weird. But moving on, we have one that gets a bit weirder. How do I even... I'm not sure how I do this one. So, Niema, can you see yourself ever getting married?
No, not right now, no.
Okay, so you're a free spirit. You're like, man, I'm not going to be bogged down. No ring for me. I do what I want. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Well, Amy Wolf is a confident 32-year-old American who lives in New York State. She also has been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. I'm starting to see a connection here, and this is where it gets interesting. She's been in several different relationships. No, some more serious than others. Some she was just toying around with, like whatever. But she's about to get married. It's coming up. She's about to get married. She says it's the love of her life. And about maybe, well, I'll just say that the reception is going to be an open door reception. It's going to have a few hundred people there. You know, big wedding, right?
I guess. I mean, yeah.
I mean, a few hundred people, that's a lot. So...
that's a lot if she's marrying an object.
Well, yeah. So, okay. Now, some of her past relationships included various models of spaceships, the Twin Towers, and a church organ.
Okay.
So, can you guess what she's marrying?
Well, I cheated, so I looked it up.
Oh!
Is it the fairground ride?
Yes.
Okay.
You cheater, man. We're supposed to get your
What?
reaction.
I know. What kind of fairground ride is it though?
She plans to marry the magic carpet.
Ew. That's like the worst one.
I don't know what the magic carpet is. I've never been on it, but
It goes really fast in circles, like round and round. It makes me so nauseated and sick. Like I don't understand this marriage.
So it's doomed from the start. Yeah, I've never. Well, I don't get on rides, so
You don't?
No, not at all.
Are you just you're
I'm
too scared or what?
probably all of the above. Like I've never even been on a roller coaster, and it's like you live in California. You've never
What?
been to Six Flags? No, I've never been to Six Flags. Why would I go there? Like, what about a Disneyland? No, I like eating. So,
I know what it is. You're scared to fall in love.
oh, clearly, you know. Oh boy, that Indiana Jones ride. Woo-wee! How it goes up and down in that wooden cart. Yeah, I ride it
Man.
just right. So, no. But yeah, I've never. I don't do amusement park rides. I just no.
Yeah, I just got my yearly, what is it, like a yearly membership or whatever to Six Flags.
Okay,
I love roller coasters. I love them.
you're an
But
adrenaline
not
junkie.
to the point where I'll marry them.
Oh well, you're missing out, man. Like seriously, you're missing out. You gotta get on that. Yeah, you're like, no.
Pass.
Could you imagine though? Like, how do you tell this to your parents? Mom, dad, I'm getting married to a roller coaster, or in this case, the magic carpet.
Oh man.
So it's just so weird. But yeah. So there's that one. Now, you ready for one of the more bizarre ones? Now, this has nothing to do with an object.
Did you say more bizarre? Bizarre?
Yeah, more
Like
bizarre.
there's anything more bizarre? Okay.
Oh, you better believe there is.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not gonna say any names because you're gonna look it up and cheat.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
That's
so
fair.
this is honestly one of those things where it's like love is Cupid is amazing at his job. So blankety blank was born in the 1800s with 3 legs, 4 breasts, and 2 vaginas. Let that settle in for a second.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this person is a walking freak show, or was. And
Aw.
you know, like when you're like that, it's gonna be like, well, who's gonna love me, right?
Aw.
You know, yeah, it's kind of sad, but this woman found it to be the opposite. She was known as the 3-legged courtesan. And one day she heard about blankety blank blank blank, who also had 3 legs, but more importantly, he had 2 penises.
Whoa. Yes. Queen. Yes.
So the woman is Blanche Dumas, and the guy is Juan Baptista dos Santos. And they suffered from tripedalism, and that is being born with more than 2 legs, diphalia, and penoduplication, which apparently affects, which
Oh, God, that's funny.
apparently affects 1 in 5.5 million people, and it's rare. I mean, it's rare. So, what are the chances of this? Like, these 2 folks suffering from the same things find each other, and it's almost a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, you know, Yeah. There's so many possibilities with this. It's like you want to seek out sameness and you want someone who understands you. So I guess in that situation, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so, but that is it's pretty amazing. That's one of the more bizarre things, but it has a happy ending, and that's what matters, which is kind of cool because now I'm wondering, like, was this by design?
Right.
Like perhaps if we take into account that we choose the life we're going to have, why anyone would choose to have three legs is beyond me, but you know,
You know, honest. I think we think it's the most like entertaining and hilarious thing when we're in the super conscious. Like, we think everything's funny and it's a joke, and then you get down here and it's like real shit. So it's not as entertaining.
yeah, it's like, oh well, didn't think this through, did I?
Yeah.
But I often wonder about that because what if they knew each other on that other level and it was like, yeah, let's have some fun, and yeah, you had some fun, all right.
Right. Right.
So, but that is it's something. It's honestly something. So, okay, so I know you weren't here for this, but there's a woman in the UK and she's marrying some dead guy that she met while cave exploring in Australia. And I actually spoke about this before, but because I spoke about that, it actually led me to something even crazier. I mean, yeah, she's
Okay.
marrying a ghost, but this guy is literally dating or marrying a dead body. Yes, the person is marrying a dead body. And I'm about to butcher her name, so yay, Melvin butchering. Shadil Defi, a Thai guy who dated Saren, oh God, we'll just call her Saren, Kamsuk for a period of 10 years. He couldn't exactly pop the question, so to speak. And unfortunately, she got killed in a car accident in 2012. And then he felt so bad and so ashamed because he did love her. And one of the reasons why he didn't actually pop the question is because he was concentrating on his work and he wanted to get his financials and mess together. And, well, he said, you're dead now, but I'm going to marry you anyway. And he literally married her dead body.
Ew.
There actually are pictures of him kissing the corpse.
No.
Yes.
I don't think I want to see that.
I know you don't, but yeah, he married he married a
I
corpse.
would be I would be so mad if my like husband or my boyfriend did that to me. I'm like, no, it's too fucking late. You're gonna have to fucking make it all up to me the next life because you can't just marry me while I'm dead and think it's all good. It's not how it works.
Oh, well, darn. Yeah, but I think it's just weird. What clicks though in a person's head where it's like, okay, so perhaps part of it is grief.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow, man, you're going to the extreme. You're marrying the dead girlfriend. I mean, I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah. I think it probably has to do a lot with trying to cope with grief. Probably feels really bad for not.
So I guess now this is one that's a little less bizarre, but still just as bizarre. And the reason why it's less bizarre is because of the circumstances. So in France, Jonathan George, oh man, these names. I'm just gonna call her bride to be. Well, the bride to be's husband was killed in a motorcycle accident 2 days before her wedding. And she still went through with the wedding. Now, she didn't have an open casket corpse saying I do and all that stuff. She has a picture of her husband and, people in attendance and all that good stuff. But what makes
Right.
this interesting is apparently there is a civil code in France that allows this. It's totally legal to marry the person you're going to marry if they died before the union was legally fulfilled, and you will be lawfully married.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, if you're thinking in a financial standpoint,
I guess.
you
But
know?
yeah,
I don't know.
so it's different. But it's interesting, and that's why I said that one's a little less bizarre versus the Thai guy. I mean, like I said,
Right.
he had an open casket and he kissed the corpse, and
Yeah.
it's just weird. And she was actually in a bride's gown too.
Mm-mm. Nope. Not doing it.
Okay, so you're not gonna do it. All right. Now, that's not to say that, these are average Joes doing this, but Hollywood has also had their bizarre marriages and some weird things that happen with love. Not as strange as, making love to a stereo, but there's some weird stuff. And if you're old enough, you guys will know what I'm talking about. If you're not old enough, you are going to have no idea. Niema, you're technically old enough, but you're not going to know because I know you don't follow Hollywood stuff too much. Try to stick with me here.
Okay.
You know who Woody Allen is, right?
Yeah, I've heard of the name.
You've heard of the... Oh, gosh.
Oh, he's a director. Okay.
Okay, so do you know who Mia Farrow is?
No.
All right, well,
Okay.
she's an actress. So,
Okay.
Mia Farrow married Andre Previn. They adopted an 8-year-old girl named Soon Yi, and when Soon Yi turned 10, Mia Farrow started an affair with Woody Allen. So now, 12 years later, because Mia and Woody Allen, they officially got with each other, but 12 years later, Mia Farrow found Soon Yi, who's now 22, giving Woody Allen naked photos of herself. And it turns out Woody Allen was having an affair with the adopted kid.
What?
Yes.
That is so twisted.
But no, it gets better because Woody Allen and Mia Farrow broke up, of course. But Woody Allen and Soon Yi are living together. They're married and they have 2 children.
No.
Well, 2
that's
adopted
so
children.
Bizarre. That is just so bizarre.
So could you imagine the family get-togethers?
Oh. Yeah, that'd be pretty intense.
I mean, how does that work? I mean, this is some hillbilly stuff there. This isn't supposed
That's
to
what
happen out
that's
west.
what yeah. I'm sure this happens all the time in like the US, but this is like Hollywood, so it's a big deal, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, how old is Woody Allen?
Oh gosh, he's probably in his 70s.
Yeah, she's 48.
Oh gosh, he's 83. Yeah, he's old, so he'll be forking over soon enough. But can you imagine that? Well, no, don't. Well, okay. Can you imagine it from the outside looking in? Like this guy got married to this chick after they had an affair, and her adopted daughter comes along. 12 years later, the mom finds some evidence about some stuff that's happened, and turns out things are happening. And now, 22 years later, or 12 years, at the present, they're married and have kids. It's, how does this work? I just don't understand it. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like your mind already like automatically goes to like maybe there's some sexual abuse, but then it's like she speaks against it and she's okay. So I'm really interested in this story on how this all went down.
Yeah, well, they did say, or some people say, that Woody Allen's a pedophile and he was doing things with her before she was 18, which is probably true. I mean, something like that. It doesn't just pop up.
Right.
And,
or, around what age was she adopted? Like, could have this been before she was adopted? Or
well, she was with Mia Farrow. Remember, she was adopted when she was 10 years old, and she was with Mia Farrow for 2 years before, for 2 years, and then Mia married Woody Allen. And so she would have been 12 when she was with Woody Allen. And, so it's a 10-year gap from when she was a little girl to when she was legally an adult at 22.
Right.
So it could have been things happening somewhere in between there. And it's just like, well, the question is, how old was she when it was happening?
Right. I mean, regardless, it's still, yeah.
So
well, as long as she's happy now.
Yeah, apparently they're pretty happy. She always speaks up her husband and defends him and says, I was not molested or anything like that. So more power to her.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of the more bizarre ones from Hollywood. You don't see that coming.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so you're going to love this. Do you like snakes? Oh, well, I know you like snakes, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, for the interest of the people listening, do you like snakes?
I do like snakes.
Yeah,
I don't love snakes.
Well, no, but you have a snake, though, right?
Yeah, I have 2.
Oh, you got a second one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what type of snake is he?
Well, they're both ball pythons.
Okay.
And they're both, they probably won't get more than 4 feet big.
Okay, so, not too much of a risk of them strangling you around while you're sleeping.
My dog. No.
Yeah, okay. That's good to know. What's the new snake's name? I know Baba, so who's the other one?
Zanny.
Zanny's
the second one. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Baba and Zanny.
Yeah, Zanny's Baba's just cool. He's chill. Doesn't care. Zanny's, he's a little feisty.
Ooh, okay. Gotta watch him. Now, the reason why I ask if you like snakes, you know where this is going. In 2006, a Indian woman married...
Indian as in India? Indian?
Yeah, India.
Okay.
Like, thank you, come again, Indian.
Wow.
Oh, God, wasn't that racist?
Wow.
Oh, well. You can send the hate letters to Niema. So, this woman married a snake in 2006. She fell in love with him and got married to him. And apparently, it's a Hindu ritual at this village known as Atala of Orissa's Kurda district. Oh, more butchering. And she legit married. She was 30 years old at the time. They said that she was seen sitting around for 1 hour as priests chanted mantras to complete the rituals. The snake, which lived in an anthill near her home, however, was not around, and a brass replica of the serpent was kept by the side of the woman instead.
So the snake wasn't around for the marriage?
No, he was back at home. He apparently was like, I ain't doing this, woman. So, She says that though snakes cannot speak nor understand, we communicate in a peculiar way. Whenever I put milk near the anthill where the cobra, oh yeah, that's right, the snake's a cobra.
Okay.
Forgot to tell you that. One of
So,
the deadliest
so
things.
could kill you.
Yeah, 100% can kill you. This is her in quotes. Whenever I put milk near the anthill where the cobra lives, it always comes out to drink. When Bimbala, that's her name, disclosed her idea of marrying a snake, villagers reportedly appreciated it, saying the marriage will bring good fortune to the area. They also came forward to offer a grand feast for those who came to attend the marriage.
Huh. But that snake didn't even show up.
Yeah. What a prick. He didn't show up to his own marriage. Oh, his wedding, yeah. So, but, yeah, that was interesting, though. It's like, okay, you're marrying a snake. Well, I guess it's living, right? But a cobra.
I mean, at least she's not talking about, like, consummating the marriage or, like, you know.
Well, not yet.
She's
Oh,
just like,
my gosh. Could you imagine?
she's just, right. Like, at least she's like, oh, I give it some milk. I call it a day.
Yeah, like, here you go. So what happens if she
Doesn't
cheats
ask
on
for
the
much.
snake? Does the snake like seek revenge and ends up being a killer, and then it has to go to trial and is thrown in jail?
No, the snake's going to be like, I'm a snake.
That's what I do.
That's what I do. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean,
Where are the hangouts? How did they hang out? What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming she just sits by the anthill where the snake kicks it, and maybe they chat. I don't know. Like, oh, look at the
Maybe,
clouds. I feel pretty. You are beautiful. I mean, I wish they had a picture of the snake. I would love to see what it looks like, but they don't, unfortunately.
They just have the brass.
Yeah, so just a brass statue.
Oh.
So, okay. What would it take for you to marry something or be with something that's just so out there?
I would literally have to be mentally ill, right? More so.
So far, it seems that way. All right. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. Normally, I wouldn't ask this type of question, but I think you'll know I'm halfway joking. But would you ever date a dude who has two Johnsons?
No.
Oh. There's
And,
some guy who's going to be listening in the future, and they're going to be like, hey, wow, she sounds so cool and nice. I wouldn't mind flirting with her, seeing if I could get to know her. And then you just broke his heart.
That's okay. Sometimes you gotta break hearts.
Darn. And
Honestly, and I'll give you my reasoning, it's because I can't, like, that's too much maintenance for me. Like, that's too much work.
That's too much maintenance.
That's too much work. Like, no.
Okay. Too much maintenance. I'm gonna make a clip out of this one.
I mean, but let's have the question reversed. Would you date a girl with two vaginas?
Well, yeah, that's simple to do. You pop something in one, and then you get something else pop in the other. That's not,
Oh, so you can handle that.
yeah, that's no big deal. Yeah, I'm more than enough, man. There we go. Do the caveman grunt.
Oh God.
That's how it's done. Well, I'm just saying, in actuality, it's like, oh my God, what do I do? What is happening here? Oh. So yeah, but I'll say this: things probably don't work the way we think they work, but it is an interesting case, and it's something that I would like to study up on, like dating with people who have weird bodily abnormalities.
Yeah.
So it is something that's interesting. I do know there's this show. It comes on Oxygen, I think, and it's about mismatched couples. So, for instance, there's a little person and a so we'll just say a very tall woman who's like 6'7",
Mm-hmm.
and a little dude who is maybe 3'5", and they are
Wow.
in a very happy and loving relationship. And it's like, wow, how does this work? It's just so odd couples.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, whoa. I mean, I know they say you shouldn't put so much stock into the physical beauty and aspects of a person because beauty fades over time, which is true. And it is what counts on the inside. But at the same time, you are attracted first to an outwardly appearance.
Right.
And I don't think it's anything wrong with, you're attracted to what you're attracted to. Everyone knows, because I've said it enough, I like redheads with nice butts.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Like, it could be some smoking hot chick here, but as soon as that redhead walks by, I'm going to look to the left a little bit. That's just how I am. That's what I'm attracted to. And, I don't like that sometimes people, they'll say, no, it's the inside that counts, and you better not be. Like, you should be ashamed. And it's like, but why? This is
Ew.
what I'm attracted to. I mean, come on,
Ew.
man. Give me a break.
No.
And, everyone isn't created equal. But, people want to believe it, but, it's just not true. Sorry. But, yeah, so,
I,
what were you saying?
I don't know. I agree with you. Like, who cares? Just let people be attracted to whoever they're attracted to, whether that's,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, so that one got me. I can't think of the name of the show unless it's called Odd Couples,
Mm-hmm.
which that would be a fitting name. But they have some interesting things on there. Like, it's a 400-pound man who's married to a supermodel.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like someone who is albino who is married to someone like dark, dark, dark from Africa. And it's like, oh, well, that's not too bad. I mean, you can't help albinoism until you find out that one is deaf and one is blind. So it's like, okay.
What? That's crazy.
So it's like, how does this work? How do you? So, I mean, great. So let me get this straight. The blind one needs to hear you, and the deaf one needs to see you. And it's like, but the deaf one, when she speaks, is just, and the blind one's like, what? What? I mean, how does this work?
Yeah. I mean, there has to be some planning in that, right? That's
It
too
is.
crazy.
Now, I consider that a high maintenance relationship.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of energy, but again, love is blind.
Literally.
This next one is, well, this one is a long-term relationship. And it dates back to, it dates back about 42 years. And this person, he actually lives with his current girlfriend, and he lost his virginity to her when he was 15 years old. And
Mm.
they've been together on and off. There's been a couple of other folks in between, but for the most part, they got back together. They've been with each other for about 5 years now. And well, he says he's happy. So can you guess
Okay.
who this girlfriend is?
Is this the roach one?
No, it's not the roach.
Oh. No, I can't guess. This is too bizarre.
This one is a guy who's he's in a relationship with his Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, I saw that when yeah, there's a guy kissing a Volkswagen Beetle. It's the guy with glasses, right? Does he have glasses?
Yep, Edward Smith.
Yep. Edward Smith.
He's in a good long relationship with it. Other relationships he's been with and he says that oh wow, that's kind of disturbing. But anyway, other relationships was a 1973 Opel GT named Cinnamon and a 1993 Ford Ranger named Ginger, and he's currently with Vanilla, a Volkswagen Beetle, of course. But before Vanilla, he had another relationship with the 1969 Volkswagen Beetle named Victoria that he bought from a family of Jehovah's Witnesses, which is kind of weird, but it's like, okay. But get this. He says that his most intense sexual experience was making love to the helicopter from the 1980s TV show Airwolf. Oh, yeah. I don't know how he lost his virginity to it, but somehow he did.
Dude.
Like, I guess he used some seats and pushed things together. I don't know. Or he popped the gas
I'd be
can.
so scared. I'd be so scared that he's just going to come out of nowhere and like start raping cars.
He admits to having sex with over 1,000 cars.
Yeah, that's sketch. Like, you wouldn't want to park your car, like, if you lived near him.
Yeah, he's gonna rape
I
the
wouldn't
car.
park my car. Right. Like, I wouldn't park my car outside. I'd be so paranoid.
So, yeah, it's the most bizarre thing. Yeah, you gotta watch out for him. Yeah, I don't know how he does things. I don't know how that works. But, hey, don't park your car near this guy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that one is freaky. Now, this is one that I thought was interesting as well, and this is with Elja Rita. I cannot say that last part, so I'm not even gonna bother. Anyway, she's German. She's 54. And her surname means Berlin Wall in German. And she married the Berlin Wall in 1979.
Wait, so did she change her name? Or
she changed her name to her surname to Berlin Wall, basically. So she is Elja Rita Berlin Wall.
Oh, wow.
I wonder how she feels knowing he's kind of dead.
Right.
Let's see. It says that she fell in love with the structure when she first saw it on television when she was 7. She began collecting his pictures and saving up for visits. On her 6th trip in 1979, they tied the knot before a handful of guests. Yes, people actually were there for some reason. While she remains a virgin with humans, she insists she has a full, loving relationship with the wall.
Wow.
Get this, though. When the wall was destroyed, she was horrified and she never went back. So instead, she keeps models depicting her husband in his former glory.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Yeah. That's kind of sad, though, in a strange way.
Right. Yeah.
But still. It's like, So, okay, so I have one for you. This one's from the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get to it, though, what is something that in a relationship you just would never do?
Wow, that's a big question.
All right, just say
there's
like
a lot of shit I would never do.
Like, let's say your significant other got you fish guts and said, "Hey, drink this," would you do it?
No.
Okay. If they lost their arm and they were, one-armed, would you still stay with them?
No.
Really? Wow, Neil, you are jacked.
I don't think I'd want someone to stay with me either.
That's jacked, man. Like, oh, you have one arm? I can't be with you anymore.
I'm just kidding. I really don't know.
You just can't. No, it's too late. You can't take that
maybe
back.
I'll be madly in love. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah,
no, it's too late, man. You already said your piece. Darn. I see how you are. Well, what I was building up to was Elena Hoyos. And you might be saying, who is Elena Hoyos? Well, Elena Hoyos was the, the lover of, oh boy, here we go again with the name, Count Karl von Cosel, who was an count and whose last name was really Tanzier. And he was an X-ray technician, and he became obsessed with Elena Hoyos. Elena was a patient at the hospital where Count Karl von Cosel worked, and Elena was suffering from tuberculosis, and the Count promised to restore her to health with his X-ray machine. However, he knew that she was actually dying. When she passed away, October 25th, 1931, she was buried, but von Cosel convinced the family to move her to a mausoleum. Now, here's the thing. The family didn't know that the Count had the only key and would visit her every single night. And after a few years, he secretly moved her to his house, where he would dress her up in bridal clothes and sometimes dance, among other things, with her.
With a dead body.
He covered her decaying flesh with wax and plaster and doused her with perfume.
Wow.
Yeah. Now here's the other thing. He was caught and he was actually tried for necrophilia, but the statutes of limitation passed, so he got off scot-free. Nothing happened to him.
Wow. Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
really dark.
That one is weird. So, what would you say? Like, would you come back as a ghost or a spirit if some dude, like, freaking dug up your body or whatever and it's dancing around with it and just like, what the heck are you doing, Buster?
Dude, I'd be so creeped out. But at the end of the day, like, I'm done with that body. Like, I left it, you know?
Oh, okay. You could have the leftovers.
I mean, just don't tell me about it. I want to know, you know?
Yeah, well, okay. So that actually brings this up, though. What if we are still somehow connected to our physical bodies even when we pass?
I would really hope not in that case.
Yeah, that's a horror story.
Right.
I don't think we are. I think when we're gone, we're gone. But yeah, that dude, he has some issues, and it's so funny because this actually makes me think of a couple of different things. For instance, love at first sight. Like, I know there's been cases, and I've seen things where you meet someone and you just can't get them out of your head, and it's like, oh wow, like, you are the most spectacular person I have ever come across. And they take your breath away, and it's like time just stops, and it's just like, whoa. And it's that intense feeling of, I need to know who you are. I have to be with you. Just that simple. And I'm wondering if that's what happened to him and that feeling just never went away.
Right. He saw an opportunity to kind of just play it out.
Yeah. Which I don't know. It's something to think about. I mean, I guess in the end he won because nothing happened to him except for he looked like a complete freak. I'm pretty sure he's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do wonder about that though. Like, was it love at first sight for him, and he just wanted to be with this woman so strongly and just so badly? And that actually, I'm gonna ask you, what causes the love at first sight?
It's, isn't it pretty much instinctual? Like primitive?
I don't know, because sometimes I wonder if it is, and then I wonder if it isn't. Like, yeah, you can see a hot person, and it's like, whoo, I'm, but yet, there seems to be a difference. I mean, like, without being too graphic, there's one you want to lay and one you want to be with, and and sometimes it's like when you see this person that you want to be with, it's like you're actually looking past the physical nature, which I know I said earlier, like, you are physically attracted, which you are, but you are able to look past that, and it's like a connection that you feel and see, and yet it could be one-sided, unfortunately.
Right.
But I just wonder about that, and I think it's more to it. What if that love at first sight person was someone you knew, or maybe even know, in a separate dimension or in your higher self or something?
Yeah. Then it kind of does get to be more of a spiritual context. Like, you could be connected on multiple timelines, multiple areas in the universe, to where it's like you're naturally drawn to that person.
Yeah.
Or, something about their energy just attracts you.
Yeah.
And maybe in this timeline it's different. And I don't know.
It reminds me of two things, two movies actually. Both of them are pretty good. The first one is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, it reminds me of that, where it's like, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it and wants to. I'm about to spoil it. These people, they don't want to be with each other anymore, and they're undergoing this thing to erase their memories. And yet, going through the memories, it's like, no, I do want to be with you. Like, I actually do love you and all this stuff. And the procedure is a success. Even though he was fighting it, it is a success. But yet, somehow, they're still able to meet back up without their memories. And it's like love at first sight again. It's like, oh, hello. Oh, hello yourself.
Let's do it all over again.
Yeah. And the next one is a film, really good film, by the way. It's called The Adjustment Bureau, with Matt Damon, and I can't think of this chick's name. She's British. I think she played Mary Poppins. Like the new Mary Poppins.
Oh.
Emily Mortimer, that's her name. I think that's her. And I think this is a movie you would like. It's about, well, okay, so how can I put this? Because it is kind of weird explaining it. But let's say that your life, my life, everyone's life is already pre-planned, and it's an architect to this. And under the architect, of course, are the workers. So basically, it's like God and angels without saying that. And everyone has a plan, and they have to abide by it. And when something goes a little rocky or whatever, the workers from the bureau, they show up, and they're hidden, but they fix things so nothing can go wrong, and it's no act of fate or chance. It's all planned. Mm-hmm. And in this case, this guy, he sees something he wasn't supposed to see, and they didn't wipe his memory. It's just like, you forget you saw everything, and it's like, okay. And his plan was to become governor and eventually president, something like that. But he meets this chick, and it's love at first sight, and he just can't forget her. And the bureau shows up, and it's like, no, you forget her because this is not part of the plan. It's going to cause a ripple, blah, blah, blah. And no matter what, though, he could never forget her, and he never stopped trying to get with her. And it was like, no, this is going to happen. And in every scenario where they try to adjust the plan to avoid her, for some reason, they would always end up back together, no matter what. And it's like, it was fate saying, nope, you can't control this one. And with his quote unquote love at first sight.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah. Oh, it's a really good movie. So, but yeah, I don't know what that has to do with bizarre stuff. I don't know what I was getting at with it, but you know.
You're on the same lines, talking about love and how people are just like attracted to certain people in this universe, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So I think it's something to it, though. This is something that's pretty bad. So this woman, her name is Maria Griffin. Well, one of her issues is she likes Ford. That's a problem. Everyone, and if you're gonna like something, you like Chevy. But anyway, she couldn't get the big O from the men of the world. They just weren't up to the task. And she one day was thinking about the Chrysler building, and that building can get her there. And eventually, somehow, she jumped to Ford trucks, and she became madly in love with them. And somehow it's able to get her off to the point where she married one in an actual ceremony, and their honeymoon was at a campsite.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, I don't know where to begin with that.
Yeah, I married a truck. And our sex life is amazing. Wow, okay.
Again, though, it would be better if it was a Chevy. I'm sorry.
I suppose so.
I mean, that's just... Chevy does it better. Chevy's better than Ford. It's just a fact.
In every way.
In every way. Like, you think that stick shift is good? Jump on a Chevy, baby. Yeah. So, yes, in every way. Okay, so here's one for you history people out there. I'm actually sure 2 people in chat will know this. Niema, something tells me you wouldn't know this.
Okay.
I don't think you're into ancient history too much.
No.
All right, but do you know who Emperor Nero is?
Nope.
Nero? Really?
That sounds familiar, but nope.
Roman emperor?
Nero.
Put his face on the coin. He was a bit of a nutcase.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why. I feel like I was looking this up the other day, but I don't know why. What about him?
Okay, so Nero fell in love with a boy named Sporus. But apparently Nero wasn't gay, even though, you know, he was a freak. Nero was a big freak. But Nero castrated Sporus to make him, or try to make him into a woman. And
what?
Yeah, they actually got married and lived as a wedded couple. And Sporus was actually called Nero's wife.
Wow. So, wait. So they were dating, and then he castrated him?
Yes.
And then they just lived happily ever after?
Oh, well, it wasn't happily ever after. Just look up Nero's history. But yeah, he castrated Sporus, made him his wife, quite literally, and there's just all sorts of wrong. I'm surprised the guy didn't die.
Right.
So yeah, that one, it's some stuff, man. So what was the synchronicity?
I'm trying to figure it out right now. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up on my phone. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Music. I was listening to a song, and it's been really bugging me, and I was trying to figure out why.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes.
Yeah, because I don't know why. I feel like I was researching something and I was led to that. So that's totally weird that it came up now.
Oh, yeah, take that as a sign. Did you find it yet? We kind of have dead air.
I know. It'll come to me soon enough.
All right. Well, this is the last thing, and this one is actually my favorite. That's why I saved it for last. And okay, so let's say you're older than what you are now, like by 20 years or so. You have 5 kids. You hate men. So, and
I don't even understand how people hate men. I don't get it, but go ahead.
Well, hey, it happens. It's like men are jerks. Oh boy, there's a story. I've actually never shared that particular story with anyone, but it involves myself and a feminist, and sometimes I don't use my full name. I'll just say Mel, and people will assume that I'm a chick. And this was one of those times with the feminist, and yeah, she hates men. And she probably would hate me if she knew I was a dude. So, but that's a story for another time. It was very interesting. I mean, like, when you say, like, yeah, I'll give somebody a blowjob just to bite it off, it's like, oh my.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
Ew.
But here's the thing. She's not a lesbian, so I don't understand what's happening there.
Well, I mean, yeah. She might just really hate men and just be like, fuck it to all of them. She's not sexually attracted to women, so that kind of sucks.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird, but yeah, I'll tell that story one day. Until then, it stays in the vault. But, all right, so this woman, she's 45 years old, and she's a Jack Sparrow impersonator.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. See, yeah, you probably know where this is gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a Jack Sparrow impersonator, and she claims that she was visited by a 300-year-old ghost of a Haitian man while lying in bed in 2014. She communicated through mediumship and learned that he was a pirate from the 18th century who'd been left at the altar once. And then he was killed for thievery.
Huh.
Yeah, poor guy. There was about 6 months of communication, and she started to develop feelings for the ghost. And she told him that she was actually married for 6 years prior, and she was horrified to learn that she had romantic feelings for a ghost. Because it's like, this is unheard of.
Right.
And she said, but she kind of liked it because she felt a little naughty because it's like falling for someone forbidden, like a friend's husband.
Okay.
In some ways, I think this is better than falling for a friend's husband because you can't get in trouble with the ghost unless it's the ghost of that friend's husband. How does that work?
Right.
You slept with
Yeah.
my man. He's
Sure.
dead. You still slept with him.
He don't want you no more.
So eventually, this woman incorporated the pirate ghost into her everyday life, and feelings grew deeper and deeper. And then it turned into a sexual relationship. But here's the thing, she wanted more. I guess she told him, like, you tried the milk, now buy the cow. And you were taught that, and she says, and I quote, growing up in Ireland in my era, you were taught that if a man betted you, he should wed you. I knew from my research that spiritual marriage was a thing, so it was more me that wanted to get married than him. He would have been happy like most men with just getting laid.
Wow.
So eventually the ghost proposed and they had a private ceremony in international waters off of Ireland where the marriage is legal, and the woman had close friends and families in attendance, and she also hired a medium so so the ghost can actually say I do, making the union official on paper, since the ghost couldn't exactly, give her a ring, which is a joke to begin with. Fun fact here, the diamond company, they're such scammers, and they needed a way to sell diamonds, and they were lying and saying they're so rare and precious and all this stuff. They're not rare. They're beautiful, but they're not rare. And it's messed up what they do to those folks in Africa for them. And they were like, okay, it's a symbol of marriage and we'll add this to a ring and all that stuff. When the truth is, they actually did not add diamonds to rings or a wedding band until really the 1900s. I don't know how true this is, but it's supposed to be a vein or something that goes from your index finger to your heart. And the ring is a symbol of forever, since it's never ending. It goes in a circle forever. And
okay.
And it's supposed to mean forever in your heart or something like that with the ring. Gosh, man, I totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, let me finish this story. So the woman marries the ghost pirate. They had a private ceremony. Family were there. Friends were there. It's signed on the dotted line on the paper, and I mean, and when she was giving her ring to the ghost, what she did was put a ring on a candle to symbolize it. And get this, because this is a tradition mostly in for people of African descent, but she says her favorite part was probably jumping over the broom, which is kind of funny. It's like, oh, wow.
Okay.
White people don't just know that. That's not something, it's like, oh, okay. So that alone makes me wonder if it was like, oh, wow, is this legit? Did you really marry a ghost?
Yeah.
Because it's one of those weird traditions, and it's just very interesting. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end for the bizarre love stuff. What do you think about all that today?
Oh God, that was awesome. I liked it. Interesting.
Yeah, so something a bit different. Like I said, originally I wanted to do a list, but I'm like, man, forget that. We're gonna just talk about it for the show. All right, so there we go. Some synchronicity, some freaky stories. Like, well, not freaky, but
Freaky love story.
odd story. Yeah, there you go. And that will conclude the show. I hope you all enjoy. And also, guys, don't forget to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook and Twitter. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. With that said, remember, guys, there are things that go bump in the night. Go ahead and tell them hi. Bye, everybody.